All right, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week, we're talking all about the Sea Otter Classic circuit race. But before we get into today's video, if you're new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell icon right next to that. That way you get notified every time I upload. That way you don't miss any of this awesome cycling content on this channel. So like I said, today we're talking about the Sea Otter Classic circuit race in 2026. So, we just got back from Sea Otter Classic. This is my first ever road race that I have ever done. So, the circuit race is kind of cool. So, if you've never heard of a circuit race, how that works. A circuit race pretty much has a set course. In this case, the course was the Laguna Seca Racetrack, which is really, really cool, by the way. Just being able to ride where race cars go. Really kind of cool. So, you have a set course. In this case, Laguna Seca Racetrack, it's about a 2.2 mile course, about 250 foot of elevation climb each lap. With that, you pretty much have a time limit. So for me, I raced in the D class, which is essentially the beginner class. Like I said, I've never done a road race in my life. And I thought, beginner class might be kind of where I need to be. Not really experienced in that. So in the D class, you have a time limit of 40 minutes. So you have 40 minutes to complete as many laps as you can in that 40 minutes. So you have to do lap after lap after lap after lap until time's out and you're done. Pretty much is how that goes. So kind of a simple design. Kind of reminds me of cyclocross is really what it is, just on a road course. Pretty much how that works. So we went ahead and took the Poseidon Triton here, my trusty road bike here, and I said let's give it a shot. So first thing, Thursday morning, 7 o'clock, we're down there at the racetrack, ready to race. And I will say, one of the things about the Sea Otter Classic and that kind of Laguna Seca Fort Ord area is the elevation gain can be very misleading and on how much elevation you have to climb. That's probably the biggest thing I've learned through the rides I've done there is you might think the elevation are like, oh, it's not that bad, 200 foot, a lap. Yeah, that 200 foot's all at once in like a mile. And it's not an easy incline. So pretty much you start off on your race. And I will say, these guys that race road bikes, they're fast. I got lapped twice on the course. Now, it wasn't really necessarily like, I didn't necessarily like feel like competing, I guess is not the right word. I kind of did it more because I wanted to ride the track. Just because that's something really cool to say is you rode Laguna Seca. It's kind of cool. So I just wanted to ride the tracks, but I wanted to kind of keep pace with some of them. But I'll say those leaders, they took off hard. And I would say before the first climb, I was pretty dropped. I was not getting back up to the lead group. So you come out of the gate, you start at the Sea Otter Classic Bridge, and pretty much right out of the gate, you're climbing. You climb all the way up pretty much the backside of the corkscrew. If you've ever been to Laguna Seca or you've ever seen the track, they're kind of that's your big climb right there. You climb up to the top of the corkscrew, and that climb is pretty killer. It gets some steep grades through there. It gets a steep grade through there to the point where you kind of got to be aware of what you're doing so you don't blow yourself out just on that climb. And out of every single lap, that's the climb that kind of sucked the most. However, once you get to the top of that climb, it kind of makes it worth it to do that climb. On the other side of that is the corkscrew, which is essentially just descending through kind of a nice kind of twisty area. That's really cool in a car, and it's really cool on a bike. And I'll say, you fly through there. You hit about 45 miles an hour going down through the corkscrew, just coasting. And yeah, it feels a little bit weird, I'll say that, just because obviously it's designed for cars, not bikes, and it feels a little bit weird if you position your tires weird. Your tires wrong. It feels a little bit funky with the angles kind of you're getting. However, once you find a line that feels really smooth, it feels great the whole way down. So you rip down that. Awesome. Like by far best experience of the circuit race was doing the corkscrew 4 different times. That was awesome. You get down to the bottom, it's kind of level. They got a little bit of an incline as you come across the pit zone lanes. You come across the pit zone lanes, there's a little bit of a climb. Just a tiny climb. Nothing compared to that first climb. Just a little bit that kind of bumps you up as you go under the Mission Bridge. You go under that Mission Tortilla Bridge, up to the top, and then once you get up there, pretty much downhill and flat all the way back through the start line. You got a little bit of curve, and it kind of curves through there, but relatively kind of fast, kind of smooth. really kind of a nice course. I like doing it. It's kind of fun. So I guess we'll kind of go off of our kind of criteria we set last year. Last year we did the gravel race. Let's talk about the circuit race this year. Who would I recommend this for? Really, if you're someone, A, who likes riding a road bike and wants to do something at Sea Otter that has to do with your road bike, the circuit race is a great way to do that. It's kind of first thing in the morning. It's out of the way of kind of your rest of your festival experience, which is one of the big things that I did it for, was so I could have my full days of appointments at Sea Otter and not kind of getting racing kind of caught in the middle of it all. So, you have a road bike, you want to race at Sea Otter, the circuit race is definitely a great way to go. Whether you're a pro, whether you're a beginner, whatever your purpose is, it's kind of the perfect place to go. Obviously, you have different classes, so the faster you are, the faster class you'd be in. The higher classes, like I believe it's the B class, they have a longer running time, so they run for, I can't remember how long. They run for a little bit longer of a time, more than 40 minutes, so you can do a couple more laps. In my case, for my kind of speed and everything I was going, I think I was averaging about like 12, almost 13 miles an hour. Again, I wasn't ripping or anything, but I was averaging then. I got 4 laps done in that time, which, I mean, I was pretty good. I felt like I was pretty good. That's about what I expected of myself, was to get 4 laps. So, beginner cyclist. So, beginner to advanced road cyclist. If you want to ride on the track at Laguna Seca and do kind of a race on that course, pretty cool. Kind of hard to beat. It's also relatively affordable to get in there. If you reserve it, if you register at the right time, it's actually relatively affordable to do that. You still get your 4-day pass. You still get all the kind of the benefits doing any of the other races, just at a more affordable price, which is kind of hard to beat. So you kind of have all of that there. It's first thing in the morning. It's kind of a cool race. That's kind of how I left that as. It's kind of a cool race. I got to do it. I had the chance to do it once, and I'm kind of happy with that once. I got to ride around. I got to race, not just ride. I got to race around Laguna Seca Raceway on my bike. That's kind of the big factor of that I wanted to walk away with. Didn't care about finishing very much. I didn't really care about my finish time or that I got dropped in the first one. It was I wanted to race bikes around Laguna Seca Raceway. That was my big goal for that guy. So those kind of your similar goals there. That'll be a good race for you to go to. It's kind of a fun one. You could do it on whatever you want, honestly. Obviously, I think everybody was pretty much on a road bike. Ages on those road bikes varied, man. They had older stuff, they had new stuff. So you kind of bring what you got. Like I was saying, if you want to ride around the track and race around the track, the circuit race is by far the way to go. So for those curious about my standings, I think I placed 6th out of 10 in my group in the D class, which, like I said, I was kind of like, whatever. I don't really, I wasn't looking for standings, but that's what I placed. The first guys finished quite a bit faster than me. Like I said, I got dropped in the first climb, and that was just kind of how it is. It's kind of how it was. I was kind of prepped for that in the first place, just because I'm not necessarily a roadie. I just ride for fun on the road and a little bit for fitness. So, cool race. If you guys are interested in next year hitting the Sea Otter Classic circuit race, there's going to be a link in the description down below to the Sea Otter Classic webpage. Check it out. Sign up for yourselves. Have some fun on Laguna Seca Raceway. If you guys enjoyed the video, or maybe you learned something new or got excited to race it yourself next year, give this video a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Love talking to you guys. Love answering questions you guys have. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.